Y'all, the internet is on fire right now. And at the center of it all? Cardi B. What started as a petty joke about album sales has exploded into one of the wildest celebrity feuds we've ever seen. We're talking threats, leaked tapes, messy affairs, blacklisting, and even Nicki Minaj jumping straight into the chaos. Fans are losing it, receipts are dropping left and right, and Cardi's threatening to leak something that could end careers. For real. This isn't just rap beef anymore, it's a full-blown reality show playing out online. And trust me, nobody's safe. Let's get into the madness. Y'all, the internet is in flames right now. And it's all thanks to Cardi B. What began as a light-hearted jab over album numbers has now snowballed into one of the messiest showdowns we've seen in years. It all kicked off when Saweetie decided to get bold, mocking Cardi's latest sales and pointing out that even with all the buzz, her new release couldn't top Nicki Minaj. But Saweetie didn't stop there. She made it loud and clear that she's Team Nicki, tossing shade at Cardi's never-ending rivalry with her biggest foe. That single move was enough to set Cardi off. And this time, she didn't settle for the usual Twitter comebacks. Nope, she went straight for the jugular. Cardi dropped a bombshell, threatening to leak a tape so wild it could wreck reputations, careers, and even marriages in one go. According to Cardi, Saweetie allegedly had a fling with Offset, and she claims there's proof on tape. This isn't just a rap feud anymore, it's a full-blown reality show unfolding before our eyes. And just when the drama couldn't possibly get any hotter, Nicki Minaj herself stepped into the chaos, publicly siding with Saweetie. That move poured even more gasoline on the fire. The internet's going crazy, the fandoms are clashing, and once again, the girls are fighting. Y'all, things are officially off the rails. This drama is turning into a full-blown circus. Let's unpack what's really going down. So apparently, Saweetie decided to pick sides and is now riding with Nicki Minaj, calling her my best friend, a real bad one. But here's the thing, stepping into grown folks' business was a bold move, and it looks like it backfired hard. Because now, the internet is buzzing with claims that she and Offset were allegedly entangled while he was still married to Cardi B. To be fair, whispers about Saweetie and Offset hooking up have been around for a minute, but nobody ever had solid proof. Cardi herself once brushed off the chatter as nothing more than ugly gossip. But now that Saweetie's throwing shade and backing Nicki, it seems Cardi's finally had enough of keeping quiet. And honestly, the timing couldn't be worse. Offset's been acting messy during the divorce process, stirring up drama left and right. Between his antics and Saweetie's public allegiance to Nicki, it's safe to say Cardi has officially reached her breaking point, and she's dealing with all of this while pregnant. Meanwhile, Saweetie, who usually minds her business and stays clear of social media chaos, stirred the pot in her own way. She sneakily posted, and later deleted, a photo on Instagram of a man who looked suspiciously like Offset. Fans were quick to jump in, debating whether it was an old picture of her and Quavo or something more recent. What made it even spicier? The caption, "Post-fight night." Yeah, people had questions. Even though she deleted the post shortly after, the screenshot army had already done their work. And the fact that it dropped right when Cardi and Nicki were trading shots online? The timing couldn't have been messier. And just when you thought things couldn't spiral any further, they absolutely did. From the looks of it, Cardi definitely caught the shade. And she wasted no time clapping back at Saweetie. She fired off a pointed tweet that read, "You must have missed me. Huh? Crazy. Now kiss my feet." But she didn't stop there. Cardi also reposted a fan tweet that said, "Tell her make a hit. She's in the studio just wasting time." It was an unmistakable jab at Saweetie's recent struggles to score another major hit, reminding everyone that the tension between the two wasn't just about rumors, it was now getting personal. But the real bombshell came when reports surfaced suggesting Cardi is finally ready to admit something she's denied for years, that Saweetie's alleged affair with Offset may have been the real reason Migos broke up. If true, that's major. Fans have speculated about this for ages, but this would mark the first time Cardi has ever hinted at confirming it. When Migos first split, Offset tried to play it cool, staying quiet about what caused the tension. Quavo, however, couldn't resist dropping subtle shots now and then, especially when it came to loyalty. In one interview, he made his stance crystal clear, saying, "Ain't nothing gonna change. We just stand on loyalty, you feel me? Real deal loyalty. And sometimes that ain't displayed. This ain't about no label, no contract, no QC, this about three brothers, and that's just what it is. Right now, we a duo, till time tells." His words, and the way he said them, spoke volumes. You could feel the disappointment and sense of betrayal. Takeoff, ever the quiet one, tried to stay neutral, caught between his loyalty to Offset and his bond with Quavo. It was obvious he didn't want to choose sides, but the tension between them was impossible to ignore. Only time will tell how this situation really plays out. But one thing is clear. No matter what happens, the bond between the Migos members once ran deep. They were more than just a group, they were family. Rest in peace to Takeoff, who always stood by Quavo's side. You could tell he was torn between both of his brothers, trying to stay out of the drama while still keeping things cool with Offset. Even when tensions were high, Takeoff did his best to hold the group together. When Migos officially fell apart, fans wasted no time digging for answers. Some believed Offset wanted out of quality control to start his own chapter, while others pointed fingers at money issues. But Quavo made it very clear that it wasn't about contracts or checks, it was about loyalty. That revelation got people thinking. And suddenly, those whispers about Offset and Saweetie didn't seem so far-fetched. The rumors resurfaced during one of Cardi's fiery back-and-forths with blogger Sleeves Mirage. In the heat of the argument, Mirage claimed that Offset had been involved with Saweetie and threw out the line, "Do you really want to discuss husbands?" Cardi wasted no time shutting it down. She clapped back, "No, baby. You lying. You making up crazy stories, starting mess, and dragging female rappers into it with no receipts." No blogger spoke on this. Her denial was strong, but fans could sense the frustration behind her words. No matter what people say about Cardi and Offset's relationship, one thing's undeniable. She fought hard to make her marriage work. But secrets have a way of surfacing, and it wasn't long before things unraveled. The alleged affair with Saweetie became impossible to ignore, especially after Quavo seemed to reference it himself. In his song Messy with Takeoff, Quavo dropped lyrics that raised eyebrows across the industry. "BF my dog behind my back, but I ain't stressing. You wanted the game, you should have said it. We would have blessed it." Fans immediately connected the dots, and if there was any doubt about who he was talking about, the music video made it crystal clear. Quavo even recreated the group's infamous elevator fight, giving a visual nod to the real-life tension everyone had been speculating about. This, __, got? I'm like, who? Now even though Cardi never publicly addressed the drama after that, reports suggest she may have quietly gotten her lick back. Let's be honest, Cardi's never been the type to stay silent when it comes to women linked to Offset. She's built a reputation for confronting anyone rumored to be involved with him, and at times, it's nearly cost her freedom. You'll probably remember when she was accused of sending people after Jade and her sister over Offset's alleged affair. Or when she got into that heated online clash with Cuban Doll. Sources even claim Saweetie eventually found herself caught in the same storm. Behind the scenes, Cardi allegedly worked to have Saweetie blacklisted in the industry, trying to cut off her bag and her opportunities. Many fans believe that's what led Saweetie to start firing back, throwing subtle shots at Cardi and mocking her for not outselling Nicki. But the feud actually traces back to 2022, when Saweetie was supposed to appear on the remix of FNF alongside Glorilla, Latto, and JT. The track was hyped to be the anthem of the summer, and Saweetie had already laid down her verse and locked it in. All she needed to do was link with the other girls to shoot the video. Then out of nowhere, she was dropped from the project, no explanation, no warning, just cut. What made it even shadier was that she was the only artist removed, and there wasn't any known beef with the others. Fans couldn't help but speculate that something, or someone, powerful might have been pulling strings behind the scenes. There wasn't any known beef between Saweetie and Glorilla, which made her sudden removal from the FNF remix even more confusing. Fans and industry insiders couldn't figure out what went wrong. Why was she suddenly out when everything had been locked in? The questions only kept piling up. Then, just as rumors started heating up, Glorilla announced that Cardi B would be hopping on her new track tomorrow too. Suddenly, everything started to click. It looked like Saweetie's removal from FNF might have been connected to Cardi stepping in for her own collab. The timing was suspicious, to say the least. And given Cardi's history of clashing with women tied to Offset, fans couldn't help but suspect she might have pulled some strings to get Saweetie blacklisted as payback. Once fans put two and two together, theories exploded online. One fan wrote, "So the reason Saweetie was removed from the FNF remix is because she slept with Offset and Cardi knew that. So she basically blackballed her and wouldn't collab with Glorilla unless Saweetie's verse was scrapped. Who's stopping bags now?" Another added, "So that's why Cardi made Glorilla take Saweetie off FNF, and in return, she gave Glorilla a free feature." It was messy, and the internet was eating it up. Meanwhile, Cardi took to Twitter with what many saw as a subliminal shot, posting, They be going for anything, but I can't go for none of that. Fans thought she was calling out Offset and Quavo for being unfaithful, and the timing only fueled the drama further. Quavo definitely caught the shade, and when he and Takeoff appeared on Drink Champs, the tension was thick. During a rapid-fire question, when asked to pick between Nicki Minaj and Cardi B, both rappers didn't hesitate. Nicki or Cardi B? Not me, Quavo joked, before taking a shot. Then he added, I must say Nicki. Takeoff laughed and agreed, yeah, I was gonna say the same thing, that's crazy. That quick exchange spoke volumes. Fans immediately read between the lines, seeing it as a clear sign that the Migos duo had chosen their side, and it wasn't with Cardi. So, being that y'all agreed, that's a shot. The Drink Champs crew erupted with laughter, and honestly, Nore knew exactly what he was doing. Asking Quavo and Takeoff to choose between Nicki Minaj and Cardi B was pure chaos fuel. With all the history and tension between Nicki and Cardi, it was the perfect setup to stir the pot. Takeoff, as always, seemed like he wanted no part of the drama, but Quavo couldn't help himself. Let's be real, at that point, things between him and Cardi weren't exactly friendly, so there was no way he was going to side with her over Nicki, even if deep down he might have wanted to keep the peace. But that's the thing about Drink Champs, the show thrives on drama. It wasn't exactly shocking that Nore brought up the long-standing Nicki vs. Cardi feud. Still, Quavo's choice to name Nicki came off shady, especially since everyone knows Nicki hasn't exactly been on good terms with the Migos or their circle. Him acting like they were all cool just felt like a deliberate move to poke at Cardi. And as if to prove the point, Nicki herself jumped into the fray not long after. She fired shots online, taking aim at Quavo and blaming him for fueling the beef between her and Cardi. In one brutal post, she wrote, Quavo, was it worth it, dummy? No career. Takeoff gone? Remember when you told me you were Beyoncé of the group? I laughed so hard inside. Anyway, pay Offset his alimony, Barney B. It was messy, mean, and classic Nicki, turning personal history into a viral moment. Anyway, circling back to Cardi and Saweetie, Saweetie has always been known for staying in her own lane, but even she's got a sneaky side. When she throws shade, it's subtle, the kind that takes people a minute to catch. That fight night photo she posted wasn't the first time fans accused her of being slick toward Cardi. One memorable moment came when a few Getty images of Cardi from the Vanity Fair Oscars afterparty went viral, and not in a flattering way. Fans quickly pointed out that Cardi didn't look like her heavily filtered Instagram photos, and the internet wasted no time turning it into a meme storm. Fans accused Cardi of heavy photoshopping after those Vanity Fair photos surfaced, calling her out for being fake and filtered. Things got even messier when Nicki Minaj decided to jump in on Twitter, stirring the pot with a shady post that read, "Clock that tea." Everyone instantly caught the reference. It was a clear dig at Cardi while she was already being dragged online. Nicki doubled down with another jab, tweeting, "Photoshop them bars," keeping the shade rolling right along. Not one to miss an opportunity, Saweetie stepped in too, adding even more fuel to the fire. She knows exactly how to land a subtle hit, and this time, she did it flawlessly. Saweetie posted her own glamorous Getty photos with a caption, "She don't need no edits." The timing couldn't have been more calculated. She dropped the pictures right when Cardi was already catching heat for allegedly editing hers, and that caption was a not-so-subtle way of twisting the knife. Fans picked up on the shade instantly, flooding the comments with reactions like, "Messing with somebody's husband and clowning them for their looks? Insane. Head bob for real." And she cleared Cardi for real. And of course, Cardi caught it too. She's known for reading between the lines, and this time was no different. Cardi fired back with a post of her own, saying, "I'm not as mean as I could be, and I want people to be more grateful for that." But by then, the damage was done. With Saweetie mocking her in the middle of her feud with Nicki, it seemed like Cardi's patience had finally run out. Now here's where things take an even wilder turn. Reports claim Cardi is now alleging she has tapes of Saweetie and Offset together in bed, supposedly recorded back when she and Offset were still married. According to insiders, Cardi's daring both Offset and Saweetie to come for her again, threatening to leak the footage if they try her one more time. If there's one thing about Cardi, it's that she doesn't bluff. If they keep pushing her, she's 100% ready to leak those videos and get her lick back. This entire situation is beyond messy. Honestly, it needs to be tossed straight into the trash. But here we are. What started as a petty jab over album sales has now exploded into a full-on circus of bedroom scandals, blackballing rumors, shady posts, Twitter shots, and a rap world feud with Nicki Minaj right in the middle. Saweetie threw her sneaky digs, Cardi clapped back with alleged receipts. And Offset? Well, he's right there in the middle, stirring up chaos as usual. And let's be real, this has gone way past simple rap beef. This is careers, reputations, and personal lives all colliding in real time for the world to watch. Fans are glued to their screens, dissecting every post, every subtweet, and every reaction, waiting for the next bomb to drop. With Cardi allegedly holding tapes that could blow the entire situation wide open, the tea isn't just hot, it's nuclear. This isn't your average celebrity spat. This is the kind of drama that could flip the entire industry on its head. Every move, every tweet, and every subtle post is being watched, screenshot, analyzed, and turned into headlines within minutes. At this point, nobody's safe. Everyone connected to this saga, from Saweetie and Offset to Quavo, Nicki, and Cardi herself, is caught in a whirlwind that's spinning faster with each passing day. What started as playful shade over music sales has now morphed into a tangled web of betrayal, revenge, and messy receipts that could haunt careers for years. Cardi is sitting on what fans are calling the receipts of the century. If these tapes really exist, and if they ever see the light of day, they could change the narrative completely. It wouldn't just be a scandal, it would be a full-blown reckoning. People are already buzzing online, debating whether Cardi would actually go that far. But if there's one thing we've learned about her, it's that she doesn't do idle threats. She's outspoken, unpredictable, and when pushed to her limit, she fires back. And hard. That's what makes this situation so explosive. Everyone's on edge, wondering if she's truly about to drop something that no one can recover from. Meanwhile, Saweetie, who usually keeps her cool and stays out of internet chaos, has found herself right in the crosshairs. Fans once praised her for being unbothered, but now her name is tangled up in one of the wildest rap feuds in recent memory. Whether she meant to throw shade or not, every move she makes is being dissected frame by frame. Her posts, captions, and photos aren't just innocent uploads anymore. They are potential clues in a digital war where perception is everything. Offset, as usual, is in the eye of the storm. He's been here before, and somehow, the chaos always seems to find him. Between his messy history, public arguments, and rumored entanglements, he's become a lightning rod for controversy. Every time his name trends, fans know it's never just about music. This time, though, the stakes feel higher. If Cardi really has those tapes, Offset's entire narrative could be rewritten overnight. It wouldn't just affect his career, it could reshape how fans view his relationships, his loyalty, and even his role in the Migos fallout. Then there's Quavo, who's made it clear that loyalty is everything. But when lines get blurred, loyalty becomes one of the first casualties. His decision to side with Nicki in interviews wasn't just about preference, it was about making a statement. In a world where alliances shift like quicksand, every shout-out and every shot matters. And while Quavo might have thought it was just another moment of honesty, the ripple effects have been massive. Fans saw it as a direct dig at Cardi, and it only deepened the divides that already existed within their circles. Nicki Minaj, never one to stay silent during chaos, has been watching all of this unfold, and adding her own commentary when it suits her. Her subtle posts, cryptic captions, and occasional jabs keep the internet guessing. She's a master of timing, knowing exactly when to step in to make a headline pop. And with her long history of tension with Cardi, fans can't help but feel like she's enjoying watching her rival squirm under the spotlight. But even Nicki has to tread carefully. One wrong move and the fire could burn her too. And through it all, fans are the ones fueling the flames. Every shade, every subtweet, every like or unfollow becomes a piece of evidence in the court of public opinion. Social media has turned into a battlefield, with Team Cardi and Team Nicki, plus a few neutral spectators, going head-to-head over who's right, who's wrong, and who's just playing victim. You can't scroll for more than a few seconds without seeing someone dissecting a lyric, comparing timelines, or pulling up old interviews as proof. What makes this feud different is that it's not just about music or egos, it's personal. These are real relationships, real emotions, and real consequences. Careers are being tested, friendships are being fractured, and reputations are hanging in the balance. Everyone involved has something to lose, and that's what keeps the tension high. Nobody knows who's going to blink first, or who's going to drop the next bombshell. One thing's for certain, this saga is far from over. The lines have been drawn, the alliances have been formed, and the internet is strapped in for the ride. If you thought things were wild now, just wait, because the next chapter could be the most explosive yet. With rumors of tapes, betrayals, and behind-the-scenes power moves, this isn't just tea anymore, it's an inferno. So buckle up, Buttercup, because this rollercoaster is only climbing higher. If you thought you'd seen messy, trust me, you haven't seen anything yet. Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and stay tuned, because the next reveal could break the internet all over again.